Hello, Happy New Year. Thanks for joining us for this January 2021. Yay! A demonstration for the Smile Create Repeat video. We have some pastels we're going to be using, one pastel pencil and two soft pastels, kneaded eraser, and a paper stump. So let's see what we can get going. Let's see, we're gonna do a loose portrait type drawing. See what comes out of it. And this is a stylized drawing, so it's not going to be representational. It's just going to be okay. So that's what we're doing, and we'll see what we can do with the colors we have. Alright, I think that's pretty good. I might make this line maybe there so her hair goes down like that. Maybe like that, and see if we can erase some of these extra lines. Lighten them up a little. They'll probably be hidden when we get the pastels down anyway, so. Alright, what are we going to start with? So let's see, I'm going to start with the background. We'll make this bright blue, and I just have three colors. I have a blue, I think it's probably a burnt raw sienna right there, and then a lime green. So I think I'll do this blue. Ooh, look at that. That's pretty. And I'm pushing pretty hard so you can see it's crumbling, because I want it to be really in there. I want it to get into the paper, and I'm gonna try, see if I can't use my finger a little bit to get some of that other, yeah, all those crumbs, if that's what you want to call them. You can use those to smudge in. And one of the things I do, like you can use the side of your finger here, and if you turn it over, you can get a sharp edge with the pastels. So practice if you want to. I don't usually like using my fingers for this stuff. I try to use either like a tissue or the paper stump, but for this it works. But this would have also worked if I used a tissue. So I have all that dust on there, just tapping it away from where I'm breathing, because I don't want that. I don't want to get all that in my lungs, or my nose will start sneezing. And now, oh, I messed up there. So now I'm going to try to clean up that edge, because I think I want to leave most of her face the paper color. So I'm just cleaning up that. Oop. And that smudged it, so maybe I'll reevaluate that. Okay. And then I'm going to do this with her hair. And I think I'm going to try to blend some of that blue with this this color, to show you blending, because blending with pastels, that's really one of the best things about it, in that texture that we just made there. It doesn't apply to this part of the drawing, but it's neat how when you run the pastel over the paper, you get that texture of just the dry media dragging on it. So I'm using this stump because I want to keep the edges I want to be careful with the edges, and really, I don't want them to blend. So let's see what that looks like, and then we'll come over here. I want these colors to stay separate, so I'm trying to be pretty careful. And then if they blend a little bit, just the thickness of the tip of the stump, that's fine. But I don't want it to do too much yet. Oh, and right there I scratched some of the color off. It's all right though. Okay, I'm gonna tap it away from me again. Okay, now I want some dark, but I'm gonna do that away from this edge, because I want this edge to be blue and then this brown I have. So I'm going to do it over here, and I'm doing lighter pressure, more pressure, lighter pressure, more pressure here, following the contour of the hair, and then here, keeping it in mind, I don't want it to go all the way to the edge. I knock that over, and I'm going to go over it again with this brown. And it's much lighter this time because I'm really trying to use this as blending tool. And then I'm going to go in with the eraser to see if we can lighten that up. I have to fix this. That little point, I don't know where that point came from, but I don't like it, so. That looks better. And now this is a mess. See how dirty my hands are? I just made it worse. So I'm going to try to get those fingerprints off. And this one I probably won't be able to get rid of because I keep holding it. You might want to tape your picture down. Maybe not. And what color eyes? I think we're going to do, we'll do blue eyes. And so I'm trying to, let me see what we can do. Let's figure out something else. I'm going to clean this off. I have some pastel here on my board that I'm getting just on the tip of the stump. And I'm going to see if we can use that just to make that. Oh, there's still a lot of brown on there. I didn't clean it off very well. Oh, that's better. And this is an easy way to get a pretty neat portrait, because you can do whatever colors you have, and it's just the way the colors work together. And now of course we're going to be using this green for the shirt, and I'm just going to color it in. And I've done a few demos of these. I wasn't happy with the other ones I did, so I made some more, and those things have been rolling over 5 or 6 times. So here I'm going to make her lips green also. So what I would think, would be a fun thing to do is get 4 or 5 of these pieces of paper out and do portraits and have a series and change the color of the background on some of them. Swap it, so maybe the shirt's blue in my example and the background's bright green, or the background's brown, and really see how each one feels, because it's going to feel different having that brown background, or the dark background depending on what colors you have, or the light background depending on what colors you have. It's going to be pretty neat. So, and now that I have some of this green on here, what you can do is, if you want to, just add a little bit. See how that's smudged there? And maybe I could even bring in some of the background. Just the subtle shadow there separates the head and the neck, which is nice. All right, we're still going to go in with the eraser and see what we can do for that hair. Let's see. I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll give it a shot. So what I'm trying to do is, and this is a flat drawing, so I don't really want a lot of variation in value, which is good because I'm not getting it, but it is blending that nicely, as you can see, but that's because we have a lot of pastel there. So I'm going to go back. See, you see got a bunch right there? You just knead that into the eraser. You have a clean spot. You do it again. So there's a lot of pastel there. Oh, I think you see it now. And that's that's basically why you have the kneaded eraser, because you can do this. So I did that. I'm going to do it on her part, or if that is, I don't know if that's called the part. Yeah, I think it is. And that just adds a little variation up there. So that would be, so if the focus of this illustration was maybe hairdos or whatever, hairstyles, and then maybe we can add, I'm using the edge of the pastel, so I have a little sharper line, and then those are very bold blue, which you could keep if you wanted to, or you can go in and with that, I'm squeezing that so you get a fine edge, see that? And now I'm going to go in and see if it blends, if I can blend it in to make those lines a little more delicate. And that's all you do. Pastel is a lot about blending, as is all art. You keep going back, excuse me. You go back and forth, adding, subtracting, until you get to where you want it to be. I think that, oh, I wanted to actually add a little bit of shadow to the upper lip. To the upper lip. So I'm going to take some of this blue on one of the edges, whatever my background color is. And I'm just tapping it on there a little bit, just to make it a little darker. And I was going to use this to blend it. I think I'm going to use this pencil to blend it in instead, so it still stays with a lot of the green. And I'm tapping it because I want to push the blue into the paper and into the color. I don't want to just scrape it all away. As you can see, some of it is getting scraped away. But there you go. That did it. That made, because the upper lip is angled, so your lips would be like this. Like this. This is your mouth opening. Ha ha ha. So your upper lip is here, so it would be in shadow, and the bottom lip catches the light. So that's what we tried to show there. A couple more little things we're going to work on here. Looking at it, I think the eyes, you can see, are a little off. So I'm going to try to see how we can, and I don't need this to be a portrait, an exact portrait, or perfect, but I think I want it to be a little bit better than that. Maybe I can do that like that. Yep, I gotta step back and see. That's better. And then I'll go back in, I think, see if we can erase some of this. Yeah, and it's over to the, it looks like her eyes are maybe over to that side a little bit, so maybe we can make it do that a little bit more, like she's looking over that way. And I'm going to take this stump, and I'm just getting a little blue on there. See if I can't make that look like I'm trying. Mm-hmm. Yep, I think that's getting a little better. And clean off that. And I think I want to, let's make her neck a little skinnier, or thinner, not skinny. I'm going to draw the pencil line first. All right, let's see what that looks like. And that'll be, that looks better, I think. And we'll add that green back there. And green eyeshadow. And I'm going to clean off the paper stump. Oh, I didn't clean it off enough. So there's a little bit of the brown in there, or red. Okay. And I want to do a little bit, I'm going to see if I can get this hair shape a little better on this side. So, fun thing with pastels, you can really just go right over it. And I'm going over a lot of the blue because I thought that was too much blue, because I really wanted it to be really just solid shapes. Let's mark the. And then the other thing is the lips have a little too much of the pencil in them. So I'm going to see if we can't get rid of some of the pencil. And I might have to just use the eraser, because I have a little bit too much right there. So if I erase the whole thing, that should take it off, but I don't want to pick up too much. I don't want to pick up the pastel on the eraser and then have that show up. Oops, like I just did. All right, so now I'm going to try to blend this again and sharpen the edges, clean it up a little. But I think that looks all right. So there, they're just a couple little edits, little tweaks, I think. Let me see. I think it does look a little better. So, yep, thanks again for watching. I hope you have a great month, and remember to smile, create, repeat.